Welcome to the Bendino Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. Fuck around and find out. Major League Baseball last week sent a warning to a few players of the San Francisco Giants for wearing Bible verses on their caps. The Department of Justice said, nope, not flying. We're going to place you under investigation. We're going to investigate this matter. It seems you guys are discriminating against Christians. It seems you guys are discriminating against players that hold a certain belief. We're going to look into that. 1 week later, here comes Rob Manfred putting out a statement. Whoa, it was just a warning. We're not going to find them. We're not ever going to find them. This was just a miscommunication, a simple misunderstanding. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Now, Rob Manfred in the statement still said you can't write Bible verses on your hat. But he also said something that stuck out to me that the San Francisco Giants maybe have tried to pull, that maybe these teams have all tried to pull. He said the Giants didn't let the players know that if they wanted to, they didn't have to wear the uniforms. They didn't have to wear the hat. They said, here's today's uniform. That's what you guys got to wear. No. You can't wear the standard hat. You can't wear the alternate hat. No, this is what you got to wear this hat with this jersey and these pants and these. This is what you have to wear. They said, oh, well, I don't want to. So I guess I'll write my. This statement that Rob Manfred just put out, a lot of doublespeak going on here. He said some good things. He said some bad things. And he said some nothings. Let's get into it, shall we? Like the video, hype the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. People are celebrating this. MLB commissioner writes to Senator Josh Hawley and admits they were wrong to threaten the Giants player over Bible verses and promises never to fine or discipline these players or any players for their religious beliefs. Okay, fair enough. The thing is, if you weren't going to fine them or discipline them, what's the point of the warning? If there was never going to be a fine or discipline coming, what was the point of the warning? Well, you warned somebody because the step after that is discipline. Discipline in this face, being a fine or being a suspension or whatever the case may be. You warn and then you discipline. Let's take a look at a few things in this statement that stood out to me. We are in receipt of your letter dated June 16th. The letter raises two distinct issues and we will address them. First, your letter asserts that by warning 3 San Francisco Giants players that they are not permitted to alter the cap, MLB has discriminated against players. MLB takes discrimination against its players or in any form related to the league very seriously. As you reference in your letter, MLB has a policy negotiated with the Major League Baseball Players Association that states a player may not write, attach, affix, embroider, or otherwise display nicknames or messages on apparel or playing equipment. This policy is enforced without regard to the substance of messaging. The rationale for the policy is that the league does not desire for its players to become messengers for political or social issues while in uniform playing baseball games because many messages have the potential to offend some segment of our fan bases, even if that was not the intent of the player. Now, this statement that I just read to you contradicts a later statement saying over here, in 2023, the Dodgers and Giants requested their use of the Pride emblem on uniforms and hats on Pride Night be grandfathered. Los Angeles and San Francisco are homes to some of the largest LGBTQ communities in the United States, and those clubs desire to show their appreciation and support for those communities that have supported their clubs throughout the years. MLB agreed to allow them to utilize the hats and uniforms with the emblems, provided that no player or uniform staff would be required to wear them, and that the team would speak to the players to make sure they were comfortable with the apparel. So, players are not allowed to alter their uniforms. affix, embroider, or otherwise display nicknames or messages on the playing equipment. However, the teams can alter the uniforms to have whatever social message that they want to, as long as the MLB says it's okay. This is interesting because the MLB, the commissioner, works for the owners. So to make some owners satisfied, yes, you can grandfather these emblems in. The players work for the owners. The commissioner works for the owners. So if the owners say, Manfred, grandfather these pride emblems in, Manfred, to keep them happy and keep his job, he's going to say, yes, sure, these can get grandfathered in. Do you see the distinctions here? Now, another interesting part. Since 2023, the Dodgers and Giants have operated under this grandfathered exception. Unfortunately, this year, the Giants' communication with the players was inadequate and not clear. Some players apparently did not understand that they had the option to wear the normal uniform and elected to add messages to their hats bearing the Pride logo as a result. They didn't know that they had the option not to wear the uniform. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like trying to get away with messaging. That sounds like trying to get away with putting a social message, not letting your players know that they are entitled to not wear the uniform that they have currently hanging up in their locker room. Because the players walk into their locker room, this is today's jersey, this is today's hat, these are today's pants. If the players don't know that, hey, if it's not communicated to them, I don't need to wear this, then guess what? In their mind, they need to wear this. Here we go. Back to the statement. By warning the Giants players that they may not include Bible verses on their caps in the future, MLB was not discriminating or chastising those players based on their religious beliefs. Rather, MLB was enforcing a long-standing collectively bargained rule that keeps uniforms clean and avoids controversy. Well, once you start grandfathering in teams' logos, that provides controversy. So again, bending over backwards for the owners, but as soon as the players stand up, well, you work for the owners, commissioner. The rule has been similarly applied to a variety of messages, some as innocuous as messages to a player's mother or honoring a deceased friend. Now, the win that people are celebrating comes here. The last sentence of the third paragraph. After the game had concluded, my office issued a routine oral warning about the uniform policy violation. Unfortunately, it was issued before we became aware of the Giants' lapse in communication. The players were neither fined nor disciplined, nor they ever will be. Well, this is the question that I have. If you don't plan on finding or disciplining them, what's the point of warning them? The warning came because you didn't like the message that they had. The warning came because you didn't like the message that they have. We have previous evidence of Clayton Kershaw wearing Bible verses on his hat. Nothing said about it. Nothing said about it at all. But then here you go. On Pride Night, when there's Bible verses, now it's a whole entire ordeal. Now it's a whole entire problem. Clay Travis doing victory laps here. It's great that they'll never get fined or disciplined. But I think Manfred's feet could get held furthermore to the fire and say, why are we grandfathering this stuff in anyway? Why are we allowing ball clubs to have these options anyway? You don't want social or political messages? Fine. You could do the first responders. You could do the police. You could do the veterans. So on and so forth. But when we get into the gay, trans, LGBTQ, that's where the league should say, nah, we ain't doing that. Now, the Texas Rangers, while all these teams are celebrating Pride, the Texas Rangers are celebrating Father's Day. While these other teams are celebrating Pride, the Texas Rangers are celebrating Father's Day. They all bring their kids out to the crowd for the national anthem. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say in the comment section below. Is this a win? Is Major League Baseball kind of fence-sitting here? I think they're fence-sitting. That's what I think is going on here. I think this is Rob Manfred fence-sitting, saying, hey, we're not discriminating, nothing to see here. We won't fine them, we won't discipline them. But on this side, they're saying, oh, well, we did give them warning. Well, we are allowing clubs to do this. Well, we're not penalizing the club for not communicating this. Well, we did grandfather this in. Well, we do work for the owners. I think Rob Manfred is fence-sitting, and I want to know your thoughts on the matter. Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, hype the video, and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. See you next time, and as always, take it easy.